Hey everybody, it's Will with Social Work Test Prep, here with another quick walkthrough of a sample question from our ASWB exam collection. Take a look. A woman tells a social worker that she no longer goes to the movies. Sitting on the aisle isn't enough, she says. I keep thinking about trying to get out of there through the crowd. When she was younger, the woman used to go to the movies and concerts regularly. It's been years, she reports. I wouldn't be able to do it. Standing on line, sitting in a crowd inside. I'll binge watch shows at home, thanks very much. What is the most likely diagnosis for this client? Have any ideas? Let's see what the choices are. A, specific phobia, situational type. B, social anxiety disorder. C, agoraphobia. And D, adjustment disorder, anxious type. Do you have an answer? You can put it in comments. Let's take a look at these options more closely. So you may prefer binge watching TV and don't want to go to movies or concerts. That's a lot of people, but this woman is not just describing a preference. She's saying, I wouldn't be able to do it. That sounds much more like an anxiety disorder. And if no diagnosis is your diagnosis, it kind of doesn't matter because you got to choose from one of the four that are offered here. All right, so let's take these one at a time. Adjustment disorder is the development of emotional or behavioral symptoms in response to an identifiable stressor. So that is sort of true here, but if you think of adjustment disorder as it's like a very mild PTSD, which is fairly accurate, that's not really what we're looking at. She's got more of a phobia, so let's scratch that one. She's been avoiding, as it says here, avoiding theaters and concerts for years, and adjustment disorder is generally used for shorter term diagnosis. So we're scratching that one. Social anxiety disorder, that's a fear of being exposed to scrutiny by others. So it's very socially based. This client's talking about crowds, not, that would be, fear of parties might bring up, might be more social anxiety disorder thing. So let's scratch that one. Specific phobia, situational type. So that sounds much, much closer. That can include fear of airplanes or elevators, small confined spaces. And if there were no other diagnosis in the list, that would be the diagnosis. But there's another one that addresses the fear of lines and crowds, and specifically of feeling trapped and not being able to escape. And that's agoraphobia. So to review the DSM criteria for agoraphobia, you need an outsized fear and avoidance of two of the following: using public transportation, not mentioned here, being in open spaces, not mentioned here, being in enclosed spaces such as shops or theaters, very much the case here, and standing in line, also mentioned, if you remember, in the stem of the question, and just being outside of the home alone at all. That's not mentioned here. But so we've got two of the off this list. That's all we need. This may not be a severe case of agoraphobia, but as it says, it just barely meeting criteria isn't a choice here. You have to choose one of the four, so agoraphobia it is. So that's how you work down to an answer from a question. You may have been able to get this to the best two and had to just take a shot at it, and a lot of the times that's the case, but through practicing a bunch, you're going to limit the number of times that is the case, and you're going to know more and more of what you're facing when you sit down to take the exam. And then when you submit at the end of those 4 hours, at the end of those 170 questions, up comes the much sought words, pass, and you'll have one of these sheets, and hopefully you'll send us a picture at socialworktestprep.com once you have it. Wishing you all the best and good luck. See you on the site. There's lots and lots of questions there for you. All right, take care.